Well, as I try and really just put together what I just saw with WrestleMania Night 2, Day 2, and it's still pretty crazy that we didn't even have 2 nights of WrestleMania, so now that it's over and done with, gonna get right down into it and try and go for word, and then go right into with the ending and everything else. But I will say this, for a show that was able to be for 2 nights with no fans in the Performance Center, I didn't think we would ever get to see that, and I wasn't too sure what to really think, but I was literally surprised for a lot of things here, with match changings and a whole bunch of other stuff, and we'll get right down into it. So the kickoff match for this night, where we had Natalya and Liv Morgan on this one, and interesting turn of events, actually Liv Morgan getting a win and possibly a future championship shot, since that's technically, unfortunately, how it works now. You get a win over a former champion, you'll probably get a championship match, which we don't really have, number one contenders matches too much, but that remains to be seen. So pretty interesting that Liv Morgan actually got a win over Natalya, who was kind of like being the heel of this match and everything. And also too, on a side note, where we had the 24/7 title actually be on the line as well. Of course, for night 1, where we had R-Truth looking to go at it with Mojo Rawley and Gronk as well. And we actually almost had Gronk win it, but then Mojo Rawley won it. Then going into night 2 and everything, Gronk was actually able to get the 24/7 championship and everything, so that was pretty cool to see that. But we'll get into what actually went down and everything. Not really too much in any particular order. We had Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley, kind of a random match, but it was pretty interesting there. We had Lana there, of course, obviously, and kind of getting in the way, the worst of Bobby Lashley, kind of getting him to actually lose, and Lana was hoping that he would get a win with the spear, but that wasn't the case. Aleister Black took advantage of that, and Bobby Lashley was able to lose there, so I'm pretty sure at this point, I think it would be wise Bobby Lashley ditching Lana, going their separate ways, and having Bobby Lashley get back into the main event picture. I think that would be a lot more suitable for him. And then we get into, which is one of my actually favorite moments too, getting into with this next match, Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Pretty crazy to see it as a singles match. We didn't have Robert Roode with Dolph Ziggler. We had Sonya Deville, of course, getting involved with this whole love story between Otis and Mandy. Of course, Sonya Deville kind of messing around with Mandy of all people, so that was kind of weird how that turned about and ruining the date between, of course, Otis and Mandy, and Dolph Ziggler getting to be with Mandy and stuff like that, and eventually the hacker get involved. We haven't really seen who it is, but I've been hearing rumors it might be Mustafa Ali, which wouldn't surprise me at this point. We didn't really get to see him, whoever the hacker is, really at this point. We didn't get to see the hacker this time around, but in the end, Otis actually got his revenge, his payback. He was able to take out Dolph Ziggler and get Mandy Rose, so that was really cool. And hopefully things will go better for them, and I'm curious to see where things are going to go into now. Kind of upsetting too that we don't really have Fire and Desire out of that, unfortunately, but I guess they're going to go their obviously separate ways and stuff. I would like to see them as women tag team champions, but who knows, we'll see. And then we get into what was supposed to be a 6-pack challenge, ended up being a fatal 5-way. I know Dana Brooke wasn't able to make it and everything, which is understandable with self-quarantine now. So in this one, where we had Bayley, Sasha, Tamina, Naomi, and Lacey Evans, all in this one, obviously Boston Hub Connection wanted to do everything that they can to actually have Bayley retain. Lacey Evans actually came close in this one, and I actually thought at one point that I thought she was actually going to win. That would have been so bad, really, honestly, but in the end, Bayley ends up winning. We saw that tension between Bayley and Sasha, kind of like teasing a breakup there. So basically, Bayley ended up getting her win and retaining, so I'm pretty sure we will get to see Bailey and Sasha at some point, whether it's with fans or not, that remains to be seen at the time being. Also, where we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match, where we had the Street Profits and Agent Garza and Austin Theory. Now, there's supposed to be a mixture of other things. The U.S. title is supposed to be on the line, I'm sure, with a fatal four-way with Rey Mysterio and, of course, Agent Garza and Andrade, but Andrade got hurt. A lot of things changed. Austin Theory got involved in being able to work with Agent Garza, thanks to Zelina Vega on that one. So they had a pretty interesting showing. With that being said, and actually the Street Profits were actually able to win almost on accident in a way, so that was pretty interesting how that turned about. And where we had Bianca Belair actually getting involved, so that's really cool. So it looks like she's on the main roster and probably gonna help out the Street Profits and actually wrestle, like being a manager and wrestle, since she actually attacked Zelina Vega. So that's really cool. That was awesome. Then we had first time ever an NXT title being on the line at WrestleMania, where we had NXT Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And honestly, I thought this was going to be, more in favor for Rhea Ripley and everything, but Charlotte Flair actually surprising me, getting the win, even though she doesn't really need it, and she's one of my favorites, obviously. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure this feud will continue, but Charlotte Flair actually wins, so I think she'll be on both brands defending the title. That would be pretty interesting to see. I don't know, but that remains to be seen. Then when we get into the last man standing match, Edge and Randy Orton, and these two literally, going at it, going everywhere basically, even kind of reminiscent with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in their brawl and everything, so kind of like that, but they did a lot more going to the back and stuff like that. And actually Edge was able to get his payback, so payback is the mother, and rightfully so, Edge getting to win, so who knows what's next for Edge at this point. And same thing goes for Randy Orton, so we'll see what happens with that. And then we get into the Firefly Funhouse, John Cena and The Fiend, and basically kind of like what happened with The Undertaker and AJ Styles in their Barnyard match. You basically had the randomness continue. It was dope, it was crazy. They showed all versions of John Cena and Bray Wyatt put together. We saw the SmackDown fist, so kind of, for me, I'm thinking that it was basically at the warehouse. It kind of felt that way. And then basically, going through everything in their careers, showing the 80s, the 90s, and everything in between. John Cena, like, rumored heel turn and stuff like that, so a lot of randomness and everything. We saw the puppets get involved, so I guess you can say The Fiend basically won, since he overpowered like John Cena with powers and getting his powers back. So there's it with that. So I would like to see that more often with the randomness. I thought that was cool for this match as well. I was kind of expecting something similar, but I wasn't really too sure. Expecting something out of like WWE games or something like that, but that was crazy, and that's probably what it's like to be on weed. And that was just crazy as all hell, but it was still fun anyway. So I wasn't too sure if that was gonna main event or not, but the main event, WWE Championship match, of course, with Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre waiting for this moment for a long time, winning the Royal Rumble, and which was about time. So, and overall, this one, wasn't really too long. Brock Lesnar getting frustrated after Drew McIntyre, just kicking out either out of the F5s and stuff, and Drew McIntyre coming back and getting the WWE Championship. So it's gonna be nice having actually the WWE Championship and Universal Championships actually on their respected shows, and as well more often. So there you go with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, like WrestleMania in a nutshell and everything else. And for, like I said, for a show with no fans, and how they actually did things with their edits and stuff like that. So they did their thing. So for both nights, very solid. I enjoyed it for what it was. And it looks like, I guess, Money in the Bank is going to be happening at the Performance Center. I don't know, depending how things go or not. I know it was supposed to be, I think in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, all depends on how things are going to get back to normal and everything. Once the virus dies down or whenever things get back to normal, that remains to be seen. So, hopefully you're staying safe as well. And till then, let me know your thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 and as a whole. What you thought about it, what you didn't like. Leave a like on this video, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will catch you guys in the next video. As always, whenever the hell the next video may be. Until then, well, I'll see you when I see you. See ya.
Okay, forget it, I got it. Tryna go diamond. Okay, forget it, I got it. Okay, forget it, I got it. You kids ain't really about it. I say posh, I'm tryna go diamond. Okay, forget it, I got it. Okay, forget it, I got it. These boys ain't really about it. I say side tryna overaccomplish. Okay, forget it, I got it. Don't worry, I got it for real. Don't worry, I'm honest as hell. Don't worry, I keep it a bill. Honestly, Phil, you finna go fail. So when you say my name, you better go chill. Never know when, you never know where, but chances are I run it in there. Something's weird, you shit in my tracks for a couple of years. Now you love it when you suckers appear. Think I got a motherfucking idea? Oh yeah, and I got another one here. A for effort, but can never compare. I just got this devilish stare to what my reflection said in the mirror. But after this, but the all be